Hey guys, Mile High back at it with another video. Today's video we're going to be going over one of the most spammy armies I've ever seen, and it is probably the most noob-friendly attack strategy in the game. I was messing around with it in some friendly challenges, and it is absolutely broken. So you're going to be bringing 4 Kanes. I only have 335 housing space. If you have 320, 340, I mean, it really doesn't matter. You just want the 4 Kanes, and then after that, you're basically just bringing some support troops, whatever you want to take. Really doesn't matter. I'm bringing 14 skeleton spells just because that's really all you need. Just distract the defenses, spam your Kanes in, you end up wrecking through the base. So the equipment, we've got Earthquake Boots, Spiky Ball, and the King. We have the Giant Arrow with the... what was this one called? Whatever the new one is, for some reason I can't remember what it's called. Then we have the Rage Gem and the Eternal Tome on the Warden, and then we have the Rocket Spear and the Electro Boots on the Royal Champion. But to be honest, the equipment with this probably doesn't matter. I think the most important thing is the Giant Arrow probably on the Queen just to trigger Invis Towers. Without further ado, let's hop into the first attack. Alright, so you're basically just going to choose which side you want to come in from. And then you're going to drop half of your skeleton spells at the beginning for the first half of the base. And then you're going to drop your next 7 at the back side of the base once those first ones wear out. So all you're going to want to do is start off with your Queen Giant Arrow, drop the King, and I'm going to use the Ice Golem with them as well, but you don't even need the Ice Golem. Spamming your Kanes, the rest of your troops, hit an early Warden ability. Then I'm going to drop 7 of my skeleton spells in to start distracting all the defenses and just let them go to work. And basically at this point, you don't even have to watch your hero abilities if you don't want to. But these skeleton spells are going to start wearing off here pretty soon. I'm going to hit the King ability as well as the Royal Champion ability just because. And then I'm just going to spam the rest of my skeleton spells, which will distract every defense on the backside of the base. And now our Rage Vial with our Kanes are just going to absolutely tear through this base. Our Yetis up here are going to pick up the friendly Giant, and I'm going to take out the disarmer. And I'm using a troop launcher with Yetis in it, but you guys can use whatever siege machine you want. I like the troop launcher just because it launches in the Yetis with your main army to just help out the main push. Our Ice Golem didn't even die, which is insane just because we had so many skeleton spells. Look at this. I think we have all of our Kanes alive down here. And then we have our Giant that we picked up from the army camp up here, just putting in some work. It's going to end up dying, but it doesn't even matter. This is the main force of our army anyway down here. Our Kanes are just never going to go down just because all those skeleton spells distract all of the defenses in the base. And we didn't even pick up the friendly Kane from the army camp yet, which we're about to do just now. The Giant comes in. Kanes are still alive, really healthy. We're going to pick up this extra Kane from the army camp, and it's absolutely over. That Giant is going to wreck that cannon there, just one taps it. Our Kanes are going to push around. Look at these Giants. They're so overpowered. It destroys the Expo in 2 shots through a wall with its splash damage. That's actually insane from a melee troop. And there's all of our Kanes just wrecking through the rest of the base. Easy 3-star, so I'm going to hop into another attack. Alright, on to the next attack. We probably want to come in from the bottom just because that's where a lot of the damage is at. I'm trying to decide here. I do want to pick up that Giant though, so I'm going to actually drop 5 skeleton spells first, and then I'm going to use my Queen with her Giant Arrow because I want to distract that single target Inferno there. And I'm also going to take that Giant from that army camp. So we're going to drop a couple more skeleton spells, get everything else in. Kind of keep an eye on your Warden ability now. I like to just use an early Warden ability, not take too much damage coming in through the front side of the base. We're going to get one more skeleton spell on that single Inferno because for some reason it didn't go down. And I'm just going to keep sprinkling them in. You can either do the method I said first where you can spam 7 of them first and then 7 of them on the backside. Or you can just keep watching and just start sprinkling in skeleton spells wherever you need them, which is what I did this time. And look at this. We're just going to be tearing through this base. Everything's distracted. Unfortunately, nothing passed to the monolith. So the skeleton spell will be worn off by the time we get there. But we're going to use our King ability now. Open up all these walls back here. I wasn't paying attention to our Royal Champion, so she actually ended up going down. Literally swagged her Rocket Spear ability. It's probably better, honestly, to use the Hog Puppet. I might switch to the Hog Puppet for the next attack. And unfortunately, our Yetis just barely missed that single Inferno down here. We still have a big push up at the top. Our Queen's still alive. The Kane should be able to get out in front and tank for our Queen. We have, what, 3 Kanes over here and a Kane over here, so all of our Kanes are still alive. We still have this Kane we can pick up from this army camp up here at the top, so it's going to be crushed nonetheless. And hopefully this Yeti can get this Inferno. I'm going to zoom in on this and see if that will go down. That would be clutch. It does. Unfortunately, the Yeti dies, so we don't pick up any of that trash down there. So we're going to have to path all the way back down to the trash buildings, but I don't think it matters. So there we pick up an extra KANE from the army camp. The monolith is kind of being pesky here, but we should be able to break through the walls and get it, maybe? Or is everything just going to path around? I guess they are in their next stage, so I don't know if they can still break walls. So it's not going to matter. They're not targeting it, so that's the biggest defense on the map that can even destroy them. And it's still not going to matter. We're just going to push right through. We got one Inferno left, and then it's basically just trash after that. We didn't do a very good job pathing on this one, obviously. And it ended up costing us a lot of our troops. But as you see, we still have 3 KANEs alive. So even if you do a crappy attack, it doesn't even matter. The KANEs just don't die with all these skeleton spells because they have to go down, what, 2 or 3 times, I think, before they're actually dead because they have the different stages. See, this one now is basically like, what is it called? An Electro Titan. It's got that aura, kind of like the Electro Boots or an Electro Titan. And we just wrecked the rest of the trash. All we had left standing on this one was KANEs, but it didn't even matter. The base was crushed nonetheless, so I'm going to hop into another attack. Alright, I wanted to show this one because it is a double poison tower base, which is actually really annoying for the skeleton spells because they just don't get that much value. But we're going to do what I said the first time. We're just going to spam 7 of them in. We've got our Queen, Giant, Arrow, King, and our Ice Golem in, and then we'll just spam our KANEs and everything else. Now you're just watching for your Warden ability, obviously. Just make sure you catch as many troops as you can. The nice thing about the KANEs is they're really slow, so you can be more patient with your Warden ability than you can with the disarmers. You look with our Royal Champion Election. I forgot to change to the Hog Puppet, so I'm just going to pop my Rocket Spear early just so she doesn't go down. And I'm going to start popping some more skeleton spells. Start distracting all these backside defenses. TownHall gets wrecked. We have a Royal Champion down at the bottom. Everything kind of pathing up to the top now, which is unfortunate. I wanted to get a split on my troops, so all my skeleton spells were distracting. But as you see, we're getting some pretty good distraction for the Royal Champion, and those skeleton spells finally do wear off. Troop Launcher shoots its last shot. And we have a giant pack of troops up here at the top. I like getting a split so it takes the base down faster, but unfortunately this time everything grouped together. But it's not going to matter because now we're going to have a ton of punch through the backside of this base. Unfortunately, we might get hit by that fire spitter. And we still do have a poison tower back here, which is kind of nasty. But like I said, it's not going to matter. Even if it looks like your attack is fizzling out, you're going to 3-star because your KANEs just never go down. We pick up the Giant. We're going to actually use our Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball here to open up the backside of the base. So now walls aren't a problem. As you see, all of our KANEs are still alive. Yeah, I don't think that Ice Golem is very effective, actually, because, look, it didn't go down again. So I might just start dropping that in front of my KANE, just so it actually pushes into the base. But, yeah, it doesn't matter. We have plenty of troops alive. We still have 1, 2, 3, all 4 KANEs alive. We still have Giants from our Troop Launcher. We still have Yetis from our Troop Launcher. We have a Giant from the enemy army camp. Our Queen's still alive. Our Phoenix is still alive. Our Frosty's still alive. Yeah, this base was absolutely crushed. It is a little bit slow, obviously, because when everything groups up like that, it just takes a while to get around the base. But I haven't ran into any time issues, so I'm going to hop into one more attack. All right, on to the final attack. I'm trying to decide where I want to come in from here. I'm going to go straight through the monolith and just get that out of the way. I'm just going to start off with 4 skeleton spells. And I'm actually going to drop the King on one side and the Queen on the other. This time I'm going to try something a little different. We'll get the Ice Golem in first. Then we'll spam in our KANEs, get our Apprentice Warden, Troop Launcher. Because you don't have to worry about walls, obviously, when you're using the KANEs, because they just break right through them. So that's why I'm using the Troop Launcher, just to kind of speed it up a little bit. Our King does go down early. I probably should have just sent him with the main army, but we're going to hit our Warden ability here. King goes to Phoenix. He's going to trim out a little bit of stuff over there, but not great. We do have 2 Ricochet Cannons up there, so I'm going to drop a couple skeleton spells. I'm going to drop a couple more over here, closer to the Town Hall, just to try to eat some of these shots from some of these heavy defenses so they're not all hitting our heroes and our KANEs, obviously. Get our last 2 skeleton spells in. I'm going to hit my Royal Champion ability again, so I don't accidentally waste my Rocket Spear if she gets out in front and dies, because I forgot, again, to change to the Hog Puppet. I don't know why I can't remember, but it's working out nonetheless. She'll snipe out these defenses here. And then hopefully the Electro Boots can clean up some of the trash here. She's stuck in a tornado trap, which is kind of nice. She's actually picking off some of the trash. We do get a KANE to path down there, and then we have the rest of our KANEs up here at the top. Royal Champion's still healthy, and she should tuck in behind the KANEs here and just let them tank for her. So yeah, this is going to work out perfectly. Our Warden with the Rage Vial is still alive. Yeah, just look how fast this stuff's going to go down, because they're in their Electro Titan stage, so everything just gets melted just from the aura, especially paired with the Electro Boots from the Royal Champion. That stuff got absolutely shredded. So this is by far the easiest attack probably you could use. Literally just spam skeleton spells in and Kanes. You don't even have to use skeleton spells if you don't want to. It works good to rage them up as well, and then just get a good warden ability. Whatever kind of variation of this you guys want to run, but this is just the easiest, the most spammy. That's why I showed this one. The most noob-friendly attack I've found so far, so this is really fun. Let me know in the comments if this works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.